Hi, I am Luis Becerril and I'm here with Angelica Perez and Dina Laura Pando. We're going to present about the global automotive industry and its analysis.
Throughout the presentation, we will be talking about the global automotive industry analysis, automotive industry within the USMCA region, Nissan's competitive profile and its supply chain, and a post-COVID-19 scenario.
According to GM annual reports and the average data from 2014 to 2019, automobile sales in the Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa region represents 51% of the sales in the market, making this territory the most relevant worldwide related to vehicle sales. At the second place, we can identify North America very close to this one, Europe, and at the minimum value, we can observe South America with 4.8% of the market sales. This graph helps us to understand the behavior of vehicle sales among the years. It can be seen that the data is almost equal on the recent periods, but according to the ACEA forecast for the 2020, automotive vehicle sales due to coronavirus will be 25% lower than the 2019 demand. This is the lowest number of cars sold since 2013. According to MarketWatch 2020, key players in the automotive industry are Volkswagen, General Motors, Toyota, SAIC, Ford, Nissan, Hyundai, Fiat, Chrysler, Honda, and Daimler. The trends that add value to the customers are autonomous vehicles, which refers to the ability of a car to be driven by itself, energy efficiency, which are consumers want to lose less energy but work with the same performance, electric vehicles, that refers to automobiles that use electricity as a main source of power, and shared mobility, that is adapted to vehicles in order to help more than one person to arrive to its destiny. As for the producers, a massive trend is the automatization. Due to the rapid increase in technology development, the new manufacturers and assembling companies have known the opportunity to use new technologies in order to increase their productivity.
According to the 2019 annual report of General Motors, North America or the USMCA region is responsible for the 23.20% of the industry sales worldwide, being responsible for the sales of 21 million cars. This positions the USMCA region as the second most important due to the fact that the Asia Pacific, Middle East, and Africa region possesses more than 50% of industry sales. The Statista web portal has responded with 2019 statistics of the company's reports and has given the answer to the best manufacturer. In first place is Volkswagen Group, which sold approximately 10.9 million vehicles worldwide, which according to the annual report is partly due to an increase of more than 12%, which contributed to a recent opening of a new production site with a total of 124 sites worldwide. After the German company is Toyota Motors, whose sales stood at 10.6 million. The competitive profile in terms of market share, according to the GM 2019 annual report, is that more than 21 million vehicles were sold in the USMCA region. And there is a big opportunity for Nissan, given the fact that he is left behind it compared to its competitors with the smallest market share. So Nissan is clearly not a leader in this region, according to the amount of vehicles sold. In terms of price competitiveness, Nissan does not give a detailed explanation of what its processes may be or how their prices were affected, but the company gave information about certain factors like reduction on its purchasing costs, but major negative impacts due to exchange rates. In terms of financial, According to statistics, all companies had a decrease in 2019 compared to 2018, but the one with the lowest sales was Nissan, which is located at 1,060 sales behind Ford, which is the #1 manufacturer with the highest volume of sales in the US. And according to an article written by Carlos Arismendi, many people have the impression that American cars do not meet Japanese standards in terms of quality, but a recent study named as Global Quality Research System states that Ford has received the same quality rating as Nissan. A great competitive advantage that company has in investing on its R&D department in order to apply electrical and autonomous technologies on its vehicles. Although the autonomous driving is new technology, electric functional vehicles are already developed and on the market, which indicates Nissan is one step away from actualization.
Mapping Nissan's global supply chain, we found out that they have a performance monitoring process where they first choose the supplier candidates, then they analyze the sourcing, and then they select the suppliers that they were previously chosen, then design the prototype production, and then they get to mass production. In order to analyze more deeply Nissan's global supply chain, first we will define what an OEM is. It is a company dedicated to manufacture and sell products to another company, which in this case we will call parent company, which is Nissan. And then we have tier ones that are the suppliers of the OEMs in the automotive industry, known for making the automotive grade hardware that the OEM requires. Some of the suppliers of Nissan identified as tier ones are POSCO, Sano, and Fuyao. The tier twos are suppliers that are often experts in their specific domain, but they also support a lot of non-automotive customers. One of the tier twos that supply Nissan is Intel. Regarding the post-pandemic impact, according to the World Economic Forum, chains will change drastically in the short term in order to secure the long-term functionality of organization. This is a side effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. The main impact of these supply chains is that companies have started to adapt to uncertain scenarios, considering the fact that their suppliers need to be near to places where cars are being manufactured. That said, companies will need to adapt supply chains as fast as possible, being both cost-effective and efficient. Additionally, the interruption of Chinese parts exports, the mass manufacturing through Europe, and the closure of US assembly plants has put a tremendous pressure on the automotive industry. Also, it is important to highlight that communication will migrate to a remote working environment, meaning that investment in technology will be key in the next years because advances in artificial intelligence and new technologies, such as blockchain, may present opportunities for further supply chain innovation.
In conclusion, the challenges that are presenting for the automotive industry are many, starting with the COVID-19 pandemic, in which the main actors don't have the control in. Due to this factor, the automotive industry will evolve into much more effective supply chains that can be adapted fastly to new situations and be more cost effective. This will not be only a trend for the future. Manufacturers and producers of vehicles will also be in the need of adoption of automatization into their factories. This with the risk of a rising unemployment amongst the environments where workforce is key in order to maintain economic stability. Though these technologies have a long way to be a fixed factor within the industry. For the parent companies, such as Nissan, they must adapt to the consumer preferences in order to prevail and be competitive in a much faster way, being in constant change and improvement, but also being cheap. Specifically for Nissan, it is important to mention that the future projects are well built for periods to come, focusing on electricity vehicles and design of autonomous driving. Although the organization needs to put more attention on R&D, research and development investment in order to maintain its competitive factors and stay relevant in the market and industry.
These are the references used throughout the presentation. Thank you.